so good.
Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, 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 it's so good. Ooh, it's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good.
What are you doing? Grandpa, you ate that steak so fast.
What I can do?
Did you?
I don't have any control over something like that. They're like sneezing.
Grandpa, the steak. You ate the steak faster than I gave it to you.
I can't help it. It's just something that, just the way the Lord made me.
It's gone. It disappeared. It was like within 2-3 seconds. It was all gone.
Ooh, it's so good.
That's the way the food is. Oh, that's so good. 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 Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, I guess I.
Good. That's so good. Oh, that's so good. It's so good.
Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good.
Wow.
Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so gooda. Ooh, it's so gooda. Ooh, it's so gooda. Ooh, it's.
My shit is going nuts over here. I don't know what's going on.
Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so gooda. Ooh, it's so gooda.
Wow! Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so gooda. Ooh, it's so gooda.
It's so Gouda. What the frick's going on? We gotta do a show. I'm tired of sitting here. Tired of sitting here. My computer is going nuts. Great. I can already tell. It's about ready to blow up over here. I don't know what's happening. Dee-dee-dee-dee. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Good Lord. Is this even is this coming through? Can anyone hear me? Da 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 da. Okay. Oh my god. Now! Jeez, that's not how it's supposed to go. No! Let's try that again. Man, the computer is just absolutely going insane. miracle if we can get through this. It's fine. Can anyone hear me? I'm here. I'm doing the good Lord. I'm doing the show. Doodle-doo. It's time for the cool stream. Let's get going. Get going. Wow, it's a cool stream. It's time for the cool stream. Gonna do another show. If my computer doesn't blow up in the process, we'll do some more stuff. We're gonna talk about Mr. Food. We love Mr. Food. It's gonna be a lot of fun today, everybody. So get strapped in, get ready to go, and pray my computer doesn't blow up. Because it will in due time, but that's okay, because, well, there's not much we can do about it. It's crazy. You can hear me, yay! Well, let's keep going. Let's push through, bring on through to the other side. Wow! It's a cool stream. It's a show. We talk about stuff on the crazy stuff on the web. Woo! It's one of our It's one of your favorite shows. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I got my coffee. We got some people in the chat, chatting away. I'm here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to watch some Mr. Food videos. I'm ready to watch some Mr. Food. We love this guy.
Ooh, it's so good.
Holy crap. It's nuts. My computer is barely inching along, chugging along. I don't know what is happening. So that's cool. Let's see if we can get some music going. Holy moly. Well, can't get any music going. I'm just going to keep talking. Okay, we got Mr. Food. Let's see if we can get some music going. This thing is going insane over here. See if we can get some music going. Or we'll just do some talking. This is how podcasting started out. There wasn't any music. Throwing back to the origins. Where it all started. Except now we do have music. Thank God. Oh my God. It's time for the cool stream. Mr. Food episode. It's going off without a hitch. Actually, that's not true. There's so many hitches. You know, maybe it's this Mr. Food website that's crashing my stuff.
Ooh, it's so good.
It's got all these crazy ads and crap. Let me see if I can get over to this tab. This is fun. This is what I actually think that is what's happening. You know, you ever look at your task manager? That thing will tell you. So Mr. Food won't allow the ad blocker. So I think Mr. Food's website is crashing my computer. Because Mr. Food website won't allow you to do the ad blocker. So it's playing all this spam. And I'm not talking about that there's spam in the recipes. No, I'm talking about all these insane ads on their stupid website. If Mr. Food... There we go. Did that fix everything? Oh my God.
Ooh, it's so good.
The history of coolness. Yes. And here we get Rabbi Yaakov Thompson. He interviewed Mr. Food. Well, we can't look at the website because that's going to crash the computer. I think something's wrong with Firefox these days. This is the little task manager update. It sucks all the stuff out of your computer. It sucks all the memory juice out of your computer. Let's look at some Well, we got Mr. Food today. I want to look at his cookbooks. I meant to go online if you can go on the archive. If you can go on the archive, which you can, everyone can go. It's a free resource for all. You can check out one of his cookbooks. But I didn't do that, so we're just going to have to look through some of the images. That'll be fun. But we're talking about Mr. Food today. He's a TV guy from TV.
Ooh, it's so good.
You know him, you love him.
Ooh, it's so good.
You know him, you love him. He was on TV doing simple, easy recipes. Looks like the Microsoft account problem is something that we'll take care of later. Here we go. Mr. Food, cool cravings. Cool stuff.
The cool stream.
And we actually have I forgot about this. Let's go to the I'm gonna show something cool. This is cool. I kind of forgot about this. I'm all over the place. I can't believe Mr. Food's website was crashing my computer. But I can believe it because have you seen some of the ads on that thing? And of course, the elderly folks that are going to that website, they don't know how to do ad blocker. So I imagine they're old gateway computers. Other gateway computers are not. They can't handle that. If my gamer computer can't handle it, there's no way. There's no way that some of these elderly computer people can do that. Go on the website. Go online now. Oh my goodness. So, this is nuts. This is not starting off in a good way, but hopefully people will enjoy what we have coming up today. Mr. Food. He's a TV guy who does cooking.
Ooh, it's so good.
Jesus
Ooh, it's so
Christ.
good.
This is going to be a janky show. I'm trying to find something. Okay, here we go. The cool store. We're looking up the cool store right now. I'm vamping. I'm trying to get it all together. Get it together. Check this out. This is cool. I have to get some of my own merch. The Cool Stream sticker. We love the stickers. The sticker is so good. It's a Cool Stream where I ripped off the Mr. Food logo. Cool cravings for Mr. Food. Here we go. Mr. Food. I ripped off the logo to make the Cool Stream sticker. That's pretty clever. That's pretty clever of me to do. Mr. Food, he's a cool guy. He's doing food and he's cool around. Mr. Food, Wheel of Fortune. We got Mr. Food. I was on Poshmark too. You can get his famous hat. His famous chef hat. Over on Poshmark where you get some clothes. They sell lots of clothes over there. Here's some cookbooks. I ought to start collecting these. I think he has hundreds and hundreds of cookbooks. Here we go. Mr. Food's restaurant favorites. Mr. Food. Good times, good food cookbook. Wow. That's cool. So he was a TV food guy. Unfortunately, he has passed on. And there's a new Mr. Food. We're gonna watch some of his videos, but I've got a YouTube playlist. We'll just fire this thing up. Guten Tag to one and all. We'll just fire up these videos and hope the computer does okay. Insane. What was I gonna say? There's a new Mr. Food. Mr. Food. The old Mr. Food is gone. He's no longer with us. So we have Howard as the new Mr. Food. Simply good chocolate. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that nice? Aww. Most of my longtime viewers will know this. Will know this guy. Some people, if you're just now tuning in, this will be a great introduction to Mr. Food. He was on TV. He did a little cooking segments on news shows during the day when all the old shut-ins would be watching TV. I don't think I ever saw him. And I'll go into my history with Mr. Food, how it all started with me. But first, let's get into what am I drinking today. This is a new segment. This is a new segment. Man, this is a rough one. Thanks for sticking in there. New segment is what I'm drinking today. Last week we had this iced coffee that was just nasty. Today we don't have any iced coffee, but we have this, it's mushroom coffee. It's called 4 Sigmatic, because it's for Sigma males. 4 Sigmatic and females, and anywhere in between you can drink this and be a Sigma. The 4 Sigmatic mushroom coffee mixed with lion's mane. Which is a kind of mushroom. And it says think is what it's called. So this makes your brain powerful. And I feel powerful, even though I'm starting off to a bad start so far. But it's got some instant coffee. It's got lion mane's extract and all that. It's medium and smooth, and it's got 50 milligrams of caffeine. And also put some real coffee in there. So we're doing hot coffee today. All right. Enough of this. No one wants to hear me talk. Let's get to the good stuff. We're trying to see if we can go through all of the Mr. Food videos today. I've got a playlist here of 96 videos. I've collected all of the ones that have the original Mr. Food, Art Ginsberg, who's no longer with us.
Oh, sure. We're all big shots today. The parties, the liveliness.
shots.
We've spent more for food, and we fussed more than we usually do. And we'll still be on our high tomorrow. But then we're going to be looking for down-to-earth, real food that'll comfortably warm the chill of January. Now, I know you're busy getting ready for tonight's party.
I can't wait for the chill of January.
Watch how simple and foolproof this recipe
Let's
from Homemade
check it
Good
out.
News magazine for a velvety cream spinach soup is. And remember...
Okay, now this must have been before he had his own cookbooks and stuff. He's doing something from a magazine. This is from 1984. I was just a twinkle in my parents' eyes about around this time.
Any brands are fine. We just saute a small chopped onion and 2 tablespoons of butter in a saucepan until it's soft. Add 2 cups of milk and an 8-ounce package of cream cheese. Cook it over a low heat until the cream cheese has completely melted. And throw in a thawed package of frozen chopped spinach. Little salt and pepper, and just let it warm. Well, you talk about rich and smooth. My gosh, served with crispy, crunchy bread or garlic bread, you'll think that all your New Year's Eve wishes came true. I've sometimes put a little nutmeg in it and sometimes tarragon. But it'll work with any seasonings. You just can't miss. Now, if you'd like the recipe, just mark down the address now,
delicious.
go to your party,
It's too hot
and send for it in a
soup,
couple of days. Make sure you send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked creamy spinach soup. Send it to me, Mr. Food, right here at the studio, and we'll get it back to you. Then you'll be ready for not only January, but all of those months that we're talking about tonight when we say Happy New Year.
Ooh, it's so good.
Well, that's what I mean when I say, ooh, it's so good.
That's 1984. Wow. Jesus. The hell?
Super duper thanks the Buffalo Bills for a championship season and celebrates with unbeatable savings.
Save on super duper skim or 2% low fat milk. The half gallon is just 79 cents. That's sold below dealer's cost. Buy 1 large head of gold fresh crisp iceberg lettuce, get a second free.
Come on, Western New York. Join Super Duper and me in saluting Buffalo Bills football.
Yay!
Ooh, it's so good.
Oh, that's a good one. Mr. Food, he's from New York. He's from Troy, New York, and so he's a Buffalo Bills fan. I want to get this as a new sound drop.
Oh. Ooh, it's so good.
That was good with the music drop. Back in the day, they didn't have internet, so that's where they got all their recipes. To the mail. Man, I want this recipe. I want to send in stamp envelope. I wish I had more 80s. This is from 1992. This is from 92.
Ooh, it's so good.
Yeah. Mr. Food. He's showing you all the good recipes to use with very simple ingredients and stuff. Now we'll fast forward to some more recent ones.
With dozens of reasons to love
There he
them,
is.
eggs are
Wasn't
one of
it?
our best
11.
food buys. So today, we came
love
to an egg
eggs.
farm to get a behind-the-scenes
Incredible
look
egg.
at just how one of our most perfect foods gets from the hen houses to our houses. And it all starts in a
with
temperature-controlled
factory
hen house,
farming.
where hens are treated to a healthy blend of feed that's packed with vitamins and corn and soy.
The hens are treated to the most heinous living conditions you could ever imagine, pumping out eggs day and night. Okay, I won't get into my PETA rants, and I'm not talking about how much I like going to the Mediterranean food restaurant, getting my hummus.
Bean. Well, in fact, they probably eat a better balanced diet than most people.
What?
And apparently
No.
the hens are early risers, because most of the eggs
I
are
eat
laid
the
in
best
morning.
food. I
You
eat
see, the
Mr.
eggs
Food every
drop
day.
automatically
Breakfast,
onto
dinner,
the
lunch, and
conveyor
dinner.
belt before being moved down the line, where they're washed and sanitized, making sure that they're nice and
I
clean.
love the
And
eggs.
here alone, they produce more than 1.5 million eggs every single
That's a
day.
lot of eggs.
Now next, the cameras take photos of every egg, and computers check them out to make
computers.
sure that each meets strict standards.
Dang,
Before every egg
the
is
computers
graded
and the
based
bots
on
are
size and quality.
throw
And
those
finally,
other ones out.
The eggs are carefully packed and boxed and delivered to our markets. Did you know that the average egg is in our market within 24 hours of being laid?
The hell?
Now,
That's
that's
cool.
farm fresh. And tomorrow, I'll be back here to discover even
All
more.
right.
But the meanwhile,
It's
go
so
online now.
good.
Check out one of my all-time
Ooh, it's
most
so good,
requested
ooh,
egg
it's so-
recipes for eggs and hash brown
Eggs in a skillet.
It's incredible.
Yay.
As easy as can be.
That sounds really
Mr.
good,
Food on
actually.
location from the place where one of our favorite foods gets its start. And, ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so egg.
Oh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so egg.
Today is World Egg Day.
It's
and we're
egg
back
day.
on location on an egg farm.
I've heard of it being leg day, but it's egg day with Mr. Food. He's telling us about eggs. This is for the incredible egg. So this is a little bit different than his usual promos. Ooh, it's so egg.
An experience it's been. Well, yesterday, one of the farmers told me that these hen houses here alone produce over 1.5 million eggs every day.
Whoa!
And this is just one
That's
of the many
insane.
farms around the country. And you know, during my tour, what amazed me is just how efficient everything is.
It's crazy. Mr. Food, maybe you ought to turn the camera around. See, talk about some of the working conditions for some of those folks working at the hatcheries. All right, maybe turn your camera around. Talk about that. How much are they getting paid? All right, Mr. Food.
The hens lay the eggs in the
It's
morning
not a-
and they drop
it's
right
not
down
a
onto
perfect-
the production line where
He's
they go to
talking
be
about it
boxed
like
and
it's
checked out
the
by
most
machine and
amazing
man
thing,
to
everything.
make sure
Everything's
they meet
amazing at
strict
the
quality
egg
control
place.
standards before being
But what he
graded
doesn't
and
know
then
is that
weighed and carefully packed
some
and
not
delivered right to our
good
markets.
labor
Now,
practices going on
that's
there.
truly farm fresh. What's even more incredible is that only 2% of our population
But
live
it's
on
fine.
farms producing food enjoyed by the
We'll
other
forgive him,
98%
Mr.
of
Food.
us.
Speaking on behalf of all America's egg farmers,
Jacques
we're
Klemp.
proud of our commitment to our hens and the community. Last
Oui.
year alone, we collectively donated more than 12 million eggs to help feed the hungry through the Good Egg Project. And this year, with your help, we hope to do even more.
Way.
Oh, I love hearing things like that. In fact, this morning
He
before we got
loves it.
started, the farmers
I ate
treated us
300
with tasty
eggs.
breakfast
It was
burrito.
delicious.
It was brimming with high protein, sliced hard-cooked eggs, and fresh spinach and black bean and corn salsa, and lots of melted
Wow.
cheese over it. Oh, boy, was that super. And the
That's so
recipe for
good.
breakfast
Ooh, it's
burrito
so good.
panini
Ooh, it's
and
so
more
good.
about the Good Egg Project
Breakfast burrito
are online
panini.
now. Next
Ah,
time you open your
no. Wait a second. Put a hard-boiled egg in your breakfast burrito panini? That's a... Sorry, Mr. Food, but that's a food fail. Okay? We don't like that. That's weird. That's the fail horn.
Good Egg Project, are on
I
my
don't like that. That's bizarre. I
Next
would
time
never
you open
do
your
that.
fridge, you'll
Now,
know
maybe if
all
it
that
was
goes
tuna
into bringing us
salad,
our eggs.
put some
But
hard
have
bolts
us
in there.
saying, yeah.
Breakfast.
Ooh, it's so good.
Yeah. We're going to be hearing that catchphrase a lot today.
Ooh, it's so good.
The CW West Palm and Sunny 104.3 are inviting ladies to gather up your gal pals and join us for Pretty in the City, Friday, November 16th
Mr.
at the Palm
Food.
Beach Gardens Marriott. This special evening will feature live music, a fashion show, and a silent
gonna
auction
feature
to benefit the Susan
Mr.
G.
Food.
Komen Foundation. Listen all day to Sunny 104.3 for your chance to win tickets to Pretty in the City. Sponsored in part by Mr. Food No Fuss Meals. Home cooking
Ooh, it's
without
so
the
good.
hassle.
Ooh, it's so
It's so good. For more information, log on to
That was a good one. I need more sound drops.
For more information, log on. Ooh, it's so good. For more information, log on to
Mr. Food. And he's going to be there with Carrie in the
CW
gang.
West Palm is giving away prize packs to celebrate Pretty in the City. A special evening for ladies, November 16th.
Special evening for ladies. Mr. Food's going to be there.
Sunny 104.3. Watch Sex in the
Mr.
City weeknights at
Food
11.
was
Wait for the keyword of the day
there
and register to win at 34
with
CWTV.com.
Miranda and
Sponsored in part by Mr. Food No Fuss Meals. Ooh, it's so good.
Miranda and the other one hanging out.
Kids and kids at heart all agree
Okay.
there's nothing yummier than sinking your teeth into an ooey peanut butter and marshmallow cream sandwich. Yeah, well, remember those? Well,
I remember
what if we
that.
up the ante a
Good.
bit? Watch this. Using any brands at all, we spread about
Peanut
a quarter of
butter.
a cup of peanut butter evenly over 4 slices of a thick cut bread, and a half cup of marshmallow cream over another 4 slices. Now we place the cream side down over the
side
peanut
down.
butter slices to make sandwiches. That's the old-fashioned way. But our today way,
That's the
we
old-fashioned
butter
way to
the
make a
top.
sandwich. Get some bread, put some stuff on it, and then eat it. But this is grilled. This is going to be grilled in a pan. That sounds pretty good. Put some cinnamon on there.
Of the
some
sandwiches, and in a large skillet, in a little bit
I don't
more
know about the
melted butter,
marshmallow
we
thing,
grill
though.
the sandwiches, buttered side
some
up
chocolate?
for about a minute, and then we turn them over and grill them till they're nice and golden. It is heaven. And maybe for more tasty excitement, make it your very own by using crunchy instead of creamy peanut butter, or add some sliced bananas to the sandwiches. A load of
Add
folks
some
love
bacon.
that. But you know, any way at all.
Bananas.
reducing
Make
our
the
teeth
Elvis
into
sandwich.
A warm, toasty version of one of our childhood favorites. These sandwiches that are oozing with creamy
I didn't have
smoothness
that in
just
my
disappear.
childhood.
And if you'd like the recipe, it's
I didn't have a
online
good
now. Or
childhood growing
send a
up, 'cause I
self-addressed
didn't get
stamped
these
envelope marked
sandwiches.
grilled PB&M.
Grilled
That's grilled
PB
peanut butter and
PB&M.
marshmallow sandwich. To me, Mr. Food here at the station, for putting a new little twist on an
Mr.
old
Food.
favorite that'll even have all of us kids shouting, "Oh, it's so good."
I didn't keep track of. I need a whole soundboard of Ooh, It's So Goods. I'm off to a good start, though.
Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good.
Good. Oh, it's so good.
Why did he whisper it like that? Oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, this is fun. I'm glad my computer's not crashing anymore.
We've got a special guest once again.
Woo,
Former
guest.
Miss America Nicole Johnson, who's
Oh,
collaborated with
hey.
me and the American Diabetes Association
Diabetes.
on several of my cookbooks.
And today we're going to prove that
Hey, diabetes is ooh, it's no good. Okay, Mr. Food is ooh, it's so good. But diabetes is ooh, it's no good. It's no bueno.
Wow.
Get yourself checked out.
diabetes doesn't mean
Your
the end of good
insulin
tasting
levels.
food.
So,
Checked
what do you
out
say that
at the
we
doctor,
talk about
everybody.
your favorite Thanksgiving pie?
I would love to, Art. Growing up, I always looked forward to pumpkin pie for the holidays.
I love
And when I was
pumpkin
diagnosed
pie.
with diabetes, I
Oh,
thought
no.
desserts were going to be out of the question. But that's
hell no.
not the case, and this recipe proves it. And when we worked on our diabetic dinners in a dash cookbook, I knew I had to include this
Diabetic
one.
dinners
Just
in a
like its name,
dash.
it proves nothing is impossible. So let's show them.
Will do. Okay, we combined some canned
Father
pumpkin
on
in a
the
blender with
balcony.
fat-free evaporated milk, a couple of eggs, some sugar.
Couple of
Yes,
eggs.
it's okay. reduced fat baking mix,
Yes,
and
it's
a bit of light butter, pumpkin pie spice, and vanilla
How about some
extract.
stevia
Now, after
instead?
giving it a whirl, pour it all into a sprayed pie plate. Bake it off in a 350-degree oven for about an hour. Now, when it bakes, it actually
No
makes
crust?
its own crust. Yeah.
Oh,
My mom serves it like
That's
this
cool.
with a dollop of
That's
light
keto
whipped cream,
friendly.
a cinnamon stick, and a little bit of nutmeg. Will this recipe
Damn.
be at
I want some of
MrFood.com?
that.
Because I know the
It
folks
better
are going to
be.
want to try this impossible
Unless they hacked
pumpkin
into it and
pie.
took the recipe
You betcha,
down.
Nicole. In fact, it's online now, and it's
All
perfect
right.
for Thanksgiving, or
Online now.
anytime you want to
Extremely
and
online
thank
now.
us with an
Ooh, it's so good.
That was a good one. Loo-doo-doo-doo. So you used to have to mail in for the recipe, and you would, I guess, mail the TV station you were watching. I don't know how that would work. They'd be like, "Hey, we're getting more Mr. Food mail," giving them those people some extra work to do. But then now you can find it online. But if you got the ad blocker, then you're screwed.
I'm all
You're gonna have
about
to see all
quick and
kinds of
easy
ads.
meals, and eggs fit that to a T.
I hate
I mean, I love them
those
because they're
damn things.
inexpensive,
Eggs.
convenient, full of protein.
This guy loves eggs. Incredible edible egg. Oh no, she kind of rolled over the ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good.
And they're fast. Perfect for all of our cooking and baking, too. But today, we have with us a special guest to prove just how quickly nutritious eggs can go from the
We got more
skillet
guests
to
on
our
there.
table. He's Howard Helmer, Guinness World Record holder as the world's
What?
fastest omelet maker. I mean, we're talking just 40 seconds.
Holy crap. He's the fastest omelet maker. That's cool. It'd be funny if it was the Badlands Chugs or somebody like that. He drank the most eggs, raw eggs ever. Mr. Beast is here. We got Mr. Beast and Mr. Food. He's gonna eat all. He's gonna drink some raw eggs. I recommend if you really want to just feel a shiver up your spine, go watch some videos of people eating eggs with the shells on. Eating raw eggs with the shells on. That's pretty good. That would be funny if that's what he did. That'd be funny. There'd be a lot of other funny stuff would happen too. If you could think of a lot of funny things that could happen in this, but he's just gonna make an omelet. We'll see how funny
Howard,
that is.
show us how.
Okay, Art, I have a pan on the stove getting hot. Into the pan goes a pan of
All
butter,
right.
2 eggs, and 2
Can
tablespoons
you
of
do it,
water,
folks?
which is the
It's gonna
recipe
break
for one
the
omelet.
world record.
And the pan should be so hot that the egg bubbles up. It's
Ooh,
the
it's so
water
hot.
turning to steam. From the outside of the pan, I move
Is this
the
a
cooked
real-
egg
is
to
this
the center,
really the
tilting the
thing,
pan so that the raw
fastest?
egg finds pan surface to cook on. When the omelet is still moist on top, but there's no more runny egg, I fill one side of it.
I
I'm
can do it
right-handed,
this
so
fast.
I fill the left
This isn't
side
a world
with some
record.
ham and some peppers,
bunch of crap.
some cheese. Fold the unfilled side over the filled side. The whole thing goes upside down, 40 seconds, I told you.
That's incredible. Incredible. Now, I hear that you're also part
He's
of
a
a
world-
contest searching
The
for
contest.
America's worst
Contest.
cook.
Yes, I am, and I'll leave you all of
Contest
the details to
corner.
share with your viewers because maybe one of them is America's worst cook.
These idiots. They haven't learned a thing from Mr. Food. And they all probably suck at cooking. Let's see what Mr. Food has to say about that.
Okay, we'll do it. So, for some more tips and information
Okay, we'll
about
do it.
eggs and omelets and America's worst cook contest, it's all online now for having all of the healthy and quick and easy benefits that eggs bring to us.
I love the
you know,
eggs.
One taste and, ooh, it's so good.
Yeah. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good.
I think you really perfected the ooh, it's so good towards the end there. Man, there's a lot going on in that one. The worst cooks in America. I wish Mr. Food was around to be doing stuff with like Guy Fieri. That would be pretty cool. We got Mr. Food here. But by that point, if he was still alive today, he'd be pretty damn old. This is a guy that did the fastest omelet. Now, I gotta look into this. Is this a real thing? I don't believe this. That's not real. It can't be real. World's fastest omelet. Let's see. Guinness World Record. Fastest rapper. Fastest omelet. Here it is. Howard Helmer. Howard Helmer is a chef who's an advocate of cooking eggs. He's in New York City, promotes the egg cooking process. He holds the Guinness World Record for the fastest omelet cooker, having made 427 omelets in 30 minutes. Whoa! Holy crap! World's fastest omelet maker. Now this I gotta see. 72 years old. And we're gonna agree to that. He's the omelet man. Okay, I don't want that. Let's see. Well, now we're gonna go watch the omelet maker. Cause this I gotta see 400 omelets and.
All right, my recipe is 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons
He's the
of
Guinness
water
World
per ounce.
Record man.
Into a 10-inch pan goes a pat of butter. My egg, 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons
It'd be
of
easier
water.
if he didn't explain
And
how
the
to
pan
do
should
it.
be hot enough so that when the egg hits the pan,
gonna
it
be
bubbles
hot as
up.
hell,
See my
everybody.
bubbles coming. So from the perimeter of the pan, I move the egg to the center of the pan and tilt the pan so that the raw
crazy.
egg finds some pan surface to cook on. Just like this,
That
and I
is
do that,
crazy.
keeping
Oh,
the
my
whole
word.
bottom of the pan covered with egg. And when there's no more runny egg, but the egg is still wet on top, and this wet egg cooks when I
want the
fold
wet
it,
egg.
in goes the cheese.
Okay, this is exactly what he did on the other one. I want to see him do it really fast. If he can do 30 eggs.
I work for the American Egg Board.
He's in the pocket of Big Egg. I don't know about this one. This seems fishy. It seems eggy. Fastest time to complete a TV... Whoa, look at this guy. TV omelet challenge. Fastest time to make an omelet is 14.76 seconds and was achieved by Theo Randall on the set of Saturday Kitchen in Cactus Studios, London, UK. Theo used 3 eggs to make his omelet. Whoa. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive.
Crazy. Oh my word.
14 seconds. Man, he gonna work at a Denny's. Fastest omelet maker. Now. There he is. Yeah, I don't think this is... I think his record has long been surpassed. Howard Helmer. 427 2-egg omelets in half an hour. Holy moly. We don't have any... Everyone's looking for their Andy Warhol style 15 minutes of fame in the 80s. Andy Warhol was long dead by then, I think. He was murdered. Okay. Let's get back on track. Omelet Man, that's kind of interesting. Let's this is an interesting one. This is a behind the scenes video. I've watched this one a couple times. Talks about some...
We love to cook out.
We love it. We love the food.
It's filming day for Mr. Food. He's busy at his Fort Lauderdale studio, taping one show after another for television stations across the country.
So here's a keep the kitchen cool.
I wouldn't call it a show. I would call it a segment.
That'll get us back on track.
Behind the scenes, staff members are preparing the food, and before you know it, the 90-second segment is done, the table is lifted, and the next one is on its way, ready for the cameras.
This way we can do 5 shows in the time it takes most people to do 1 show.
It's quick and easy,
It's
right?
quick and easy, and it's all set up already.
Now that's interesting. Mr. Food. That's interesting there.
Ooh, it's so good.
Is that when he films his show, it's not a show, it's not even a show, it's a segment, but I guess back in the day when he would do his show, they would have the entire countertop. They'd take off the countertop and have all the food set up. And, well, they'll talk about it later here in this clip here. I don't want to spoil anything, but
Ready for the
certainly don't want this food to be spoiled either. It tastes disgusting.
One show.
It's quick and easy,
It's
right?
quick and easy, and it's all set up already.
He's all about being quick and easy.
Ginsburg. He grew up in New York and always loved food.
New York.
7 years old, I was asking my mom if I can make my own sandwiches for school.
In the early years, Art worked in his father's butcher business. He branched out to catering, but also enjoyed acting and singing.
When I could take my two loves.
Oh, there's Mr. Food. Doing
the food
acting.
and the stage, put them together.
He should win a daytime Emmy for the Mr. Food stuff.
Here with some easy recipes for no bake is Mr. Food. Good morning.
Good morning, Ron.
Art Ginsburg was the first TV chef to promote practical, anybody can do it cooking and food preparation.
How to make a margarita.
Anything was a shortcut to Swiss steak, I think it was. And they were deluged with letters in those days, not the hits on the website, but they were deluged with letters requesting the recipe.
Even Saturday Night Live took notice.
We have a great show for you. Mr. Food is here with some great holiday recipes.
From the start, Mr. Food knew he had to stand out.
I don't know where it came from, Lisa. I just, at the end, I said, ooh, it's so good.
It's so good.
It's rewarding and, oh, it's so good. And it worked because it fit in with what I was doing.
He's changed his... He's sort of changed the way he does the catchphrase. In the early days, it was like this.
It's rewarding and, oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's so good. But now, in his old days, in his prime, Mr. Food in his prime, he's really figured out how to do it the right way.
I don't know where
like
it came
this.
from. I just, at the end, I said, ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good. Letters. They used to sell Used to sell letters back then.
And it worked because it fit in
so
with what I was doing.
Oh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's
What
so
is your
good.
favorite meal? What can you eat every day?
So many different ways you
The
can
only thing
say
I
it.
can really eat 365 days a year
It's an
is a
egg.
fresh off the vine tomato.
Mmm.
Full red
Ooh, it's
ripe.
so good.
Cut about that thick.
This is good. I thought he was gonna say I can eat an egg because apparently he's obsessed with these eggs. It's all the egg videos we've been watching, but I guess he likes tomatoes.
Could really eat 365 days a year is a fresh off the vine tomato. Full red ripe. Cut about that thick on any type of bread, slather it with mayonnaise, salt and pepper, a leaf of lettuce.
Today, Mr. Food is still going strong with more than 40 cookbooks. His newest
That's so good. A vine ripe tomato, red ripe. He's got a way with words, that Mr. Food. He had a way with words. And now he didn't say much anymore. 6 feet under.
venture, No Fuss Meals. With several locations in Florida, it's a fast and convenient way for you to assemble several
Mr. Food
family-sized,
Fast
ready-to-cook
Casual.
meals using fresh ingredients. His
Yum,
family
yum.
helps run the business. Art and his wife have 3 adult
Aw.
children and even more grandchildren.
We keep pretty busy because we
Mr.
do
Food
writing
Jr.
and research and testing.
On this day,
Food
they're
Test
testing
Kitchen.
sweet and sour coleslaw.
Ooh, it's so good.
That part you don't have to imitate.
I don't do it quite as well as
Got her ass.
Research is also
You
important.
roasted the hell out of
Here's a
her.
pantry that
Ooh,
probably
it's so
everybody
good.
wished they could have.
Art tailors his segments to each TV market, showing product labels you'll
Whoa.
recognize in your local grocery store.
I have to use something for, let's say, on my Los Angeles station, and
I have to
instead of
use,
using a McCormick whole allspice, I'll use a Schilling allspice.
Shilling for all the shills out there in Hollyweird. What kind of stuff would they have in L.A.? When they do something for L.A., it's got to be farm fresh, organic, non-GMO, and if it's not free range, and what are some of the other stuff? If it's not organic, then they're not going to want to eat it. Part greengrocer, part chef for dummies. That's right. Mr. Food, he couldn't exist today. Yeah, he's definitely more in the... He's not a Food Network type, although he would be great. He would have been great on the Food Network. He would have been much better than Alton Brown. I hate that guy. Imagine, Mr. Food could do so many recipes in one show in 30 minutes. He could do 30 recipes. 30 recipes in 30 minutes with Mr. Food. With special guest host Guy Fieri. That would be cool. Let's see. What other stuff was I going to riff on? Anyway, they explained how in his videos he features the products that you need to make the food. And they use different stuff in different parts of the country. Like I said, in Hollyweird, they use non-GMO, free-range, organic. And in flyover country, they use whatever slop you can get out of the freaking toilet. From Piggly Wiggly.
The Rockies, McCormick is known as Shilling.
He's
It
efficient.
smells so good in here right now.
So good.
It's
Supposed
It has been
to.
3 decades
So
since Mr. Food made
good.
its debut.
It's supposed to smell good. If it doesn't, we've done something wrong. Okay?
Just send a self-addressed stamped envelope to me, Mr. Food, here at the studio.
And over the years, he's had to adjust to the times.
For the recipe, it's online now.
People adjust to the times. People on
Time
keto.
of his life.
When you love what you do,
People
you never have to go to work.
are vegan.
I'm having a ball.
Mr. Food can be seen on 150 television stations across the country, including WPBF Channel 25. Want to try one of his recipes? Just go to our website, WPBF.com, and click on Mr. Food
Gotta make some
recipes
Mr.
under
Food
Seen on
stuff. I've
25.
never made one of his
It's right
recipes.
there on the homepage. Lisa Hayward, WPBF News 25.
Double PBS News. Never made anything, Mr. Food. Unfortunately. I should probably do that one of these days, I guess. Let's see, like I could make one of these, the watermelon basket.
We hear it all the time. Childhood obesity is on the rise. We know how that'll affect our kids' health down the line.
He's
And
a
it's
health
constant-
conscious, diabetes, obesity. What the bleep? He's health conscious, and that's good. If he was still around, he'd be talking about how to make vegan and gluten-free and all that good stuff.
Battle to keep them from snacking on a lot of the sweets they crave. But it doesn't have to be. By keeping the right sweets available, they can always reach for something that meets with our seal of approval. Now, one idea they'll love coming
that's
in
so
right now,
good.
and it's pick a flavor from these sunny fields in Florida.
Pick a flavor.
Sweet, fun to eat watermelon.
Guess
Yeah,
we're
it's
gonna
being
pick
harvested
watermelon.
and shipped to markets all over the country. And one juicy, kid-pleasing bite is all it takes. Because watermelon's a healthy sweet that can curb the
watermelon.
appetite and prevent the
I want my
kids from,
sweets.
and us too, from overeating.
I want my coins.
And besides just a slice, look what else we can dive into. Right here
Whoa.
is simply a watermelon basket
watermelon
that we've cut
boat.
with a wave design, then scooped out the melon into
it out
balls
with some
and
ball.
tossed it with other fresh fruit like berries and grapes and pineapple.
Dang.
But the fun twist is that we arrange the
Wait
mixture
a second. That's not the fun twist. That's not the fun twist. Mr. Foods is a spiritual warrior, wearing the armor of God, fighting against the deep state. That's right. Mr. Food is now the guy that checks you into heaven. Not that the other guy, it's not that other guy, it's him now, Mr. Food. Mr. Food, one of the chosen people of man of Jewish descent. It's kind of interesting stuff. There used to be an interview. As I pulled up I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I never watched it, but there was an interview with him and this guy, Rabbi Yaakov Thompson. Had the pleasure of sitting down with Art Ginsberg, known to millions of TV viewers as Mr. Food. I interviewed Art for the To Life L'Chaim show, seen nationally on Jewish Life TV Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. on DirecTV channel 366. When I say it was a pleasure I truly mean it. He's just like he's on TV, Mr. Food. He was born in Troy, New York. Art's father was a cattle dealer and a kosher butcher. He told stories about making the rounds to local farmers to buy cattle, and they made sure to be home before Shabbos. Always important to have the Jewish holidays for Mr. Food. Art became a kosher butcher. Later, he and his wife opened a kosher catering business. He had a lead role in Fiddler on the Roof. Credits for his TV career. So that was probably the clip they had in that other video. He was the famous fiddler. So that's kind of cool. Tevya. I guess that's the name of the fiddler. I haven't seen that one. He did a commercial, and he was a hit. The cooking success became the basis of what has been a 40-year career as Mr. Food. Now, this is cool. This is the kind of information you won't get on some of these other videos. This is interesting. But the interview used to be on YouTube, and now it's not anymore. I wish I'd watched it, but this is a little blurb about it. So he's got MrFood.com. He lives in Florida. He's very proud to be Jewish and always maintain close ties to the Jewish community. His recipe can be adapted for a kosher kitchen. He's a man with a mission. He noted that the idea of great simple meals is more important than ever because of the busy pace of life today. He was a truly joyful person. He's a lucky man because he loves what he does. Well, and he's no longer with us. Aww. Anyway, that's an interesting little factoid. I thought it was kind of cool. They don't really talk about that a whole lot. Some of these other videos. But anyway, so let's get back to the watermelon basket. I had to derail things. I had a good riff going, but...
What else we can dive into? Right here is simply a watermelon basket that we've cut with a wave design.
With
then
Mr.
scooped
Food.
out the melon into balls and tossed it with other fresh fruit like berries and grapes and pineapple. But the fun twist is that we arrange the mixture around a dish of blue gelatin to look like a swimming pool. I mean, the kids will flip for it. And if we want, we could even garnish it with some gummy fish and these little palm tree swizzle sticks, for a real batch with a splash. The recipe is online now. Or send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked Watermelon Swimming Pool to me, Mr. Food, here at the station, for giving our kids options that'll rate a sweet seal of approval, because no matter how we carve it or slice it, kids of all ages agree. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good.
Kids love fruit. And they love gelatin. Gelatin. That's kind of cool. And then for the parents, you can take some of that watermelon and make a nice cocktail for the parents. What about that?
Whether we're having a New Year's Eve party or ask
Here's some more desserts. This is my kind of food.
Today's easy as can be recipe.
I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, I must say.
A holiday hit. Now, I've got a bunch of cheesecake lovers here at the station.
Yeah, like this guy.
You just mentioned cheesecake and their eyes light up. So what? Using any brands at all in a large bowl
loves
with an
the
electric
cheesecake.
beater, we beat together several packages of softened cream cheese until they're smooth and creamy. Now we add in some unsweetened cocoa,
that's so good.
melted
It's
butter,
cheesy.
and a bit of vanilla. Still beating till it's well blended. Slowly pour in some sweetened condensed milk, not evaporated, sweetened condensed.
Sweetened
A few
condensed.
eggs, and when it's all mixed,
Not
our
the
batter's
other
done.
stuff.
Now, we line our muffin cup pans with paper baking cups and place a vanilla wafer cookie on the bottom of each cup. And
Oh,
fill
it's
each
so
cup
good.
halfway
That's a
with the
good
batter.
idea.
Now you bake them off.
All right, now I want to make this.
30, 35 minutes.
Now, this
and
actually
that's
does
it.
look good.
You let them cool a bit. and
I'm
you
not
top
doing
them off
irony
and
this
start really
time.
firm up. Then we can go to town decorating them.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I would put that on there.
Or a drizzle of chocolate or some whipped cream and chocolate
it's so
shavings.
good. That looks good.
I mean,
Some
look,
chocolate.
We're talking melt in your mouth.
Yeah.
Heavenly holiday special. Pretty cool. And look, the recipe for bite-sized chocolate cheesecake
Chocolate
is
cheesecake.
online now. For a mini dessert.
It's online.
Just right. And believe me,
On your
everyone
computer.
will toast us sincerely. Well, like, thanks for the, ooh, it's so good.
That's pretty good. Chocolate bite-sized cheesecake. Jane, and the important thing when you're eating food, you don't have to eat a big giant thing. You just eat a bite-sized cheesecake. That's a good idea. I'll have to make
With
that.
all we have on our plates, preparing for Santa's
Here we go.
visit. Breakfast
Santa.
on Christmas morning may have slipped our minds. No
Mr.
worries.
Food doesn't
This
celebrate
4-ingredient
Christmas.
quickie will make you a holiday hero. And yes, we can even
And then there's some videos where he's cooking up the ham.
Well, watch. Using any brands at all in a bowl, we mix together a package of spicy pork sausage along with some
No.
thinly sliced scallions.
That
and
ain't
some diced
kosher.
red pepper. Okay.
Get that out of
We
here.
unroll a couple packages of refrigerated crescent rolls.
And does
we
he get?
press the seams
Do they get any
together.
kickbacks
Good.
for advertising all
Makes
these
a
branded
rectangle like
products?
that,
I wonder.
Okay? We spread half of the sausage mixture evenly over each rectangle.
Ooh,
and
it's so
starting
good.
From the
That looks
narrow end,
good.
we
I
roll
love
them up
those.
jelly roll style, and we cut each
Love
roll
that.
into 8 equal slices.
Mm-hmm.
See that? There's nothing to it. Now, you place them on their sides on a baking sheet, but just for the
Little
holidays.
Christmas tree.
I like to arrange them
Christmas
in a Christmas
tree.
tree shape so that it bakes up to be more festive. Okay. Bake them in a 400-degree oven. It takes
Dang.
us about 25-30 minutes for the sausage to cook through and the crust to brown up. And there we have it, a Christmas tree-shaped breakfast bake that'll easily divvy up into individual portions, and is super just as it is.
I'll take 1
Or,
quarter
what a
portion.
Nice pairing for some scrambled eggs and fresh fruit. I mean, it's not too late to pick up the recipe for holiday sausage roll-ups because it's online now.
It's online
so you're
now.
A holiday hero that easily. Now, what's love?
What's love got
When
to
they
do
get
with
a
it?
whiff of this baking in the oven, and they come running for their presents, and then the taste. Ooh, it's so good.
When they come, their presents, you better have something good under the tree. If Christmas is going to go off without a hitch, you're going to have your sausage and you're going to have some good food with Mr. Food. Mr. Food. Ooh, it's so good. Well, Mr. Food, he's no longer with us. Unfortunately. But anyway, let's check out some more of these cookbooks. Dang. Oh, this is signed by Howard. We'll watch some Howard videos. He's a controversial figure. He's the new Mr. Food, and a lot of people they don't like him, but I think he's fine. He's not trying to be Mr. Food. Mr. Food, I would love to have a signed cookbook. He died. He died on 9/11. He died in 2012, I think. Man, I wish the dang Mr. Food website didn't crash on me. That was not cool. Too many spam ads, and I already made the joke about how the recipes had spam in them, but cooking quickies. He's got 1 million cookbooks. Gotta get me one of these. Panned burgers. That's good. Let food be your medicine. Okay. He's got 1 million cookbooks. Mr. Food is even so good after 30 years. I think that's Mrs. Food. That's nice. This is a nice episode. We'll do a weird episode next. This is... No! I have to have a login to get in there. Anyway, I think that's Mrs. Food. That's cool. Ethel! Let's see if this works and doesn't crash my computer again. Howard, he's the new guy. Howard. He's the new guy. He's the face. And then we got Steve Ginsburg. No job application needed for Steve. That's right. They had some good old-fashioned nepotism over at Mr. Food Incorporated. He was born for this position. He's the oldest son of Mr. and Mrs. Food. They should have made Mrs. Food the new Mr. Food. How about that? How about that? Instead of the men are running everything these days, why not make Mrs. Food? But because Howard, he doesn't quite have the magnetic charisma as a Mr. Food. Should have got a lady in there. Anyway, he's producing segments. He's serving the chief executive officer of Ginsburg Enterprises, Mr. Food parent company. Let's see. And then you've got Carol Ginsburg Fantel. She might be related too. Since the mid-'80s, she got the name in there, but we cannot confirm that based on the biography. Let's see. There's a lot of people working behind the scenes at Mr. Food. The video editor, there she is. Ethel, Mrs. Food Ginsburg. She does the wardrobe and the makeup. With Mr. Food always on the go, it's not an easy task to keep him always looking his best. Whether we're shooting in the studio or on location, Ethel coordinates Mr. Food's wardrobe with our production team for each segment, as well as keeping his suitcase packed and ready for travel to countless events and special appearances. Yep, she's the one really running the scenes behind the scene, making sure Mr. Food has his famous apron and a nice collared shirt. That's about all you need there if you're going to be Mr. Food. I'm only going to see you from the waist up. He could be wearing shorts underneath there. That would be funny. Italian. Mr. Food's Italian. Cooking. I'm losing steam here. Mr. Food favorite cookbook. I'm ready for soup season. How many of y'all are ready for soup season to come back? I'm sick of all this hot weather. I can't even have soups anymore. Look at this guy. That's kind of weird. That's pretty much what we're getting up to today. Hey, that's kind of weird. So now that we've kind of run out of steam on this tangent, Confederacy of Dunce's cookbook. I haven't read that book in a long time. Got plenty of hot dogs in there. That's about one of the things I remember from that book. Okay. So they got Mr. Food in the top 10 of the best cookbooks of all time. Grandpa's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Moomins. Green Eggs and Ham. I guess Mr. Food didn't make the cut, whatever this list is. Prime Time Cafe Disney Chronicles. Now, what is this all about? Strolling past Primetime Cafe, we came, guess who we came across? Filming a segment. That's right, it's Mr. Food. He was at Disney with Minnie, Mickey, and Minnie, and Goofy. Yeah, we got a ways to go with these damn soups. Mr. Food. He did food in Schenectady. That town over in New York. Mr. Food's signature phrase. And let's pull up the sound here.
Ooh, it's so good.
And he was over at the Primetime Cafe filming a segment. That's neat. The 50s Primetime Cafe. What was he doing there? Thinking about the good old days of the 50s. If you search Art Ginsberg, you'll get a lot of Ginsburg. U.S. Judge Ginsburg. What's her name? We don't want that. We want this guy. Mr. Food died. I would love to buy this photo for $500. That would be cool. Okay. Here we go. Someone doing cosplay of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader. Wait, what? She's doing Ruth Bader Ginsburg for the comic books. Oh, that is funny. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You catch that? Except Ruth, she was one of the good ones, I think. So I don't see why they made it into Vader, who was a bad guy. The dark side. Here's some more pics. Hey, look at that thing. Mr. Food having to do Christmas stuff. Here he is.
Oh, it's so good.
Okay, we got any more videos? Well, you're in luck. If you asked that as a question, then you are in luck. Let's see, we're on video number 12, so we've got about 80 videos to go. 45 minutes. Let's see if we can get through it. We'll break the record of most videos ever watched on the Cool Stream. 100 videos in 2 hours. Alright, Mr. Food. He was at the casino. He was performing live at the casino.
Oh, yeah!
Getting in there and playing the slots. It's so good.
Yeah, yeah.
That is.
Yeah, yeah. Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so gooda. Ooh, it's so gooda.
Hey, we gotta follow Piranha X6. I know that guy. Welcome to this cool stream.
The cool stream.
Merry Christmas. Mr. Food, he's having to shill for Christmas. Even though he's not, doesn't celebrate. There's food. He's old. 2011. He was on death's door. Oh. Woo. Even though he's not. Oh, we won't talk about that. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hi, I'm Mr. Food, and I can't wait to try all the food, the wonderful food from the 3 brand new restaurants at
The casino.
Yeah, at the all-new Seminole Casino.
He's like, huh? Where am I?
You talk about, ooh, it's so good.
They made him say it.
Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so good.
At the casino. Seminole Casino, Coconut Creek. He was deathly ill at that point, but he still went to the casino. He's a real professional. Mr. Food. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. If they had a Mr. Food slot machine. Oh, that would be cool. That would be so good. The Mr. Food slot machine. And you have to line up different foods or something. Instead of the cherries, it would be a big, fresh, ripe tomato. Because that's his favorite food. Apparently, that's his favorite food. Let's get into some newer ones. I've got a million of these to watch, but we want to start checking out what happened in the later years and see some stuff that Howard's doing, because he's Mr. Food also.
It's from the National Frozen and Refrigerated Foods Association. In case of a power failure, only open your fridge and your freezer if it's absolutely necessary. And it's also wise to keep your freezer about 3/4 full to help maintain a safe temperature. And that helps with energy efficiency too. For more information to help you, visit easyhomemeals.com.
How to handle power
You'll
failure.
never lose any of your, ooh, it's so good.
I hate that when my power goes out.
Lively dinner table conversation can spice up any meal, and we've got something to get us started. You know, perfect to get the kids thinking, or for when we need a company icebreaker.
The kids
Because I bet you'd be surprised to know that the old Shakespearean line about what's in a name really applies to a lot of our foods. I mean, the French fries that we pair with our burgers really don't have their roots in France.
Freedom fries.
They originated in
They ought to
Belgium.
call 'em.
Plus, they get their name from the cooking
That's
term.
close enough. I'm going to piss off the Belgian people watching. France, Belgium, that's close enough.
To French, which simply means to cut any food into narrow strips like this. And it's
French
not limited
fried
to our potatoes at
carrots.
all. I mean, then there's Swiss steak. Not Swiss.
No.
Russian dressing? No again.
What?
English muffins? I'm afraid not.
What?
You see, every one of them is an American creation.
Wow.
And it doesn't really end there.
Crazy.
I mean, ever hear of a Jerusalem artichoke? Well, not only doesn't it come from Jerusalem, it's not even an artichoke. It's the edible root of a sunflower. And its unexpected title comes from the mispronunciation over time of the Italian translation of its name. And last, but far from least, you want to stump the gang some
Now
more?
that's
The
interesting.
peanut is
Peanut.
not a nut at all, but it's actually from the bean family. So things may not always be what they seem on our plates, but they sure make for some tasty table talk while we're chowing down on a meal full of, ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good.
It's a bean. A peanut is a bean.
Hi, it's me, Mr. Food.
Hey. Jerusalem artichoke is not really an artichoke. I didn't know that. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. We're going to join Mr. Food in Ireland. And let's jump ahead. And holy Lord, there's a lot of videos. Mr. Food's homemade pickles. Well, let's just jump ahead right now. We'll go back to this one, I guess. He's Mr. Food. He's so good after 30
This
years.
must-have today pantry staple is
Tomatoes
aged
of fruit.
perfection, which makes it perfect for adding flavor to lots
Hot
of
dog
our
is a
recipes.
sandwich, and what are the other ones?
You may recognize that voice or his signature
I recognize
catchphrase.
Your own, because when we start with a handy helper, the possibilities are.
Ooh, it's so good. Ooh, it's so. Ooh, it's so good.
Mr. Food has been cooking quick and easy meals on TV for over 30 years. He's released 51 cookbooks, has kitchen electronics and gadgetry, even an app for the iPhone is in the works. He's even got the personality to be a celebrity chef.
We're sure to score a slam dunk if we serve this classic ethnic sandwich for any upcoming March Madness get-togethers.
Plus, the most fitting name in the business.
Dear Mr. Food, how are you doing? I am 14 years old. I love the food you cook. Could you please send me an autograph?
Still, this
Oh.
butcher turned caterer turned
No. We don't have any mods in here today. That's too bad. Mr. Food, let's see. What was I gonna do? I'm getting, anytime the spammers come in, it just throws me off. What if Mr. Food was doing a segment with Shaq? He was talking about basketball. Okay. I got
television
that
food chef
I got
is not
that
as
off
famous
my
as Rachel
chest.
Ray or any of the other Food Network stars. But he's okay with that.
Let me tell you something. I was always the neighborhood guy. I was always the hometown guy. In all of the
He was a
stations
real
that
tough
I'm on,
guy from New
everybody
York.
thinks I'm there. because we keep up with exactly what
Mr.
they
Food's
want.
bot army. He's a real tough guy from New
That
York
may be
City.
the reason for his
Don't mess with him.
continued success.
He's from the
Stick
streets.
to what the viewers want and what they can actually cook at home. At his headquarters in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, he has a storage room complete with every kitchen item imaginable.
Holy
different
moly.
colored plates and bowls, coordinating napkins and placemats, all kinds of spices and condiments in a pantry room, sauces, pickles, olives. Even his 90-second segments are taped here in his studio.
Right now I'm on the set of Mr. Food's kitchen. It's really quiet, but of course they're getting organized for tomorrow's big
Just
day.
wait till Mr. Food
They have
gets in
everything
there.
from where they're going to drain
Ooh,
the
it's so
spinach
good.
to keeping the hummus and the peppers. Everything is laid out and clearly labeled for tomorrow.
Every prop gets a
good.
Post-it sticker,
That
labels of where each item is going to be placed and for what purpose.
I don't even know if I got it written down.
This is some behind-the-movie magic stuff
It's the
here.
day of filming, and the Mr. Food team is busy. They have 13 different shows to tape. He's got his own script writer, camera guys, even a production crew directing the shots.
I mean, I would hope so. They didn't just do it on the...
Mr. Food has been doing this for
Just
a
make
long
it up
time.
and then
It's a competitive
improvise.
career, but he says he wouldn't have it any other way.
Just I have one wish that I hope for a long, long time I keep having you say right in your own kitchen what I say every day, and that's, ooh, it's so good.
Suzette LeBoy, The Associated Press, Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
That was good. It's a little behind the
This
scenes.
must-have today pantry staple.
Okay, I already
is
watched that.
Following breaking news this noon, Mr. Food, the TV chef who has aired on WPBF 25 for years, has died. Shelley Lockhart joins us now with details on his sudden
Breaking
passing.
news.
Well, Felicia Art Ginsburg passed away at his home in Weston this morning. He had pancreatic cancer. Mr. Food was diagnosed just over a year ago. And with early treatment and surgery, the
Dang.
cancer actually had gone into remission, but it returned earlier this month. We have featured the beloved
November
chef on
2012.
WPBF 25 News for years, sending us off each day with his signature line, "Ooh, it's so good."
Mr. Food was born Art
Mr.
Ginsburg. He grew up in New York and always loved food.
At 7 years old, I was asking my mom if I can make my own sandwiches for school.
In the early years, Art worked in his father's butcher business. He branched out to catering, but also enjoyed acting and singing.
I already watched
when
that.
I could take my two loves, the food and the
it's so
stage. put 'em
good.
together.
We already
Just
watched
moments
that.
ago. The entire WPBF 25 TV family is deeply saddened by Art's passing. For several years, he brought the joy of cooking into our homes. He was beloved by so many, and he will be terribly missed. Our hearts go out to Art and his family. Mr. Food is survived by his wife, 3 children, and several grandchildren. He was 81 years old. Of course, we've posted the news about Mr. Food's death on our Facebook page.
Breaking
Just go to
news.
facebook.com/WPBF25 News to leave your condolences. We know we're going to hear from a lot of you. Shelley Lockhart, WPBF 25 News.
I'm not going to make any jokes about
Following
him
breaking-
being dead. If anyone's waiting for that, it's not going to happen. Now I'm going to cry. Mr. Food, Mr. Food, yeah, he's Mr. Food. Hey, it's too loud. Mr. Food. Mr. Food. He was on Fiddler. He was the famous Fiddler. Boom, 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 boom. It's too sad. Oh, he's on the Cirque du Soleil. He's one of a kind, Mr. Food. Rip. Oh, he's hanging out with Santa. Come on. Whoa. He's there with an owl. He was serenaded by Art singing in the office. Kissing me good morning. Okay, well, I hope that was consensual kissing. You never know who's going to stop by. Harlem Globetrotter was there. And Art and Spuddy Buddy. Spuddy Buddy. QVC. Love the QVC. Art just sneak up. Good lord. Mr. Food. Come on, he's kissing everyone. He hosted the telethon. Howard. Howard. Well, Howard lucked out in this case. Now he is Mr. Food.
Art Ginsburg died today of pancreatic cancer. He was 81. And while
That was a real tearjerker. Except now I'm hoping that some of his kissing in the office was. I mean, he's an old guy, you know. So they just. I'm sure it was fine. He didn't do anything weird, right? Mr. Food's not canceled, right? Oh no! Please don't tell me we have to posthumously cancel Mr. Food.
Food. To those of us who knew him here in the Capital District, he was a great guy with a magic touch. Art grew up as a butcher in Troy, became a well-known area caterer, and eventually brought his warm personality and family-friendly recipes here to WRGB.
Now, hold on, let me think of this joke while this video plays.
And he didn't stop there. In no time at all, he was delivering his signature tagline in homes all over the country.
He was the go-to caterer in Troy for everything from bar
He was the
mitzvahs to
goat.
weddings.
Here we go. He's the butcher of Troy. Was he inside of the horse that was wheeled into the city and then he killed everybody? From the olden days, the Trojan horse. Isn't that what happened? They jumped out of the Trojan horse and they killed everybody or something? I have to look that up. The Butcher of Troy. I couldn't think of any of the famous guys from olden mythological times. Hercules. Okay.
When Art Ginsburg did a guest chef appearance on TV in 1975. He told us years later he was just looking for some way to close out the segment when he looked into the camera after tasting his creation and said,
"Ooh, it's so good."
Those four little
He's
words,
old.
a genius
He's on
for
death's
marketing
door.
and a twinkle in his eye propelled Troy's favorite chef into a
Didn't laugh
national
at that.
television phenomenon. He was clearly thrilled in 1984 when he explained just how much
I'm
more he
reveling
preferred
in it.
cooking on TV to catering.
Oh, it doesn't come simply. All of this has to be organized and put together and researched. Research is very, very important. So you put a lot of time into it.
Your research.
Still no
Also be spreading fake news.
this and the work of catering. Catering is absolutely strenuous and arduous and many, many more long hours. There's just no rest.
We sauteed a couple of chopped onions.
By then, Mr. Food, as he had become known, was a
horse killed
TV
everyone.
regular,
It was
creating quick and
huge
easy
and it fell
recipes
over.
that busy families literally
I
ate
love
up.
this
He
old-timey.
moved into the
I love this
WRGB
old
kitchen in the
footage.
early
It's
80s,
cool.
and in no time at all was syndicating his segments
Monsieur.
around the country. There were cookbooks and magazines.
We are now in 41 markets around the country. So we're going well, and we're hoping for 20 or 30 more by I would say within a year.
It may have appeared that Art was
get
dreaming
ready.
big when he told us
The
what
Mr.
his goal
Food
was
Empire.
back then for the Mr. Food franchise.
120 stations for 10 years straight. That'll be great. That'd be super.
The fact is, at his death from pancreatic cancer, Art Ginsburg
I
had
don't
done
like seeing
all
him
that
so
and more. His Mr.
emaciated.
Food segments are broadcast today on 125 local stations around the country.
It's so good.
He has been part of NBC 29 News at 5 for years. And tonight we are sad to report the death of Art Ginsburg, better known as Mr. Food. Ginsburg died this morning after
Monsieur.
recurrence
I wish
of
there were
pancreatic
Mr.
cancer.
Foods in
He
different
was 81.
countries
While
that
no
had
one
different
can take his
names.
place, the
Monsieur
people at his
Food.
production company are making plans to continue after a short break.
Senor
So today,
Food.
we air his last segment.
I guess he
and say
had him
goodbye and
translated.
thanks for all the
Okay, this is the last
it's
segment.
So good.
All right, I want to hear her do move. It's so good.
It's for all the it's so good.
What? No. No, that's not how you do the...
Ooh, it's so good.
That's not how you do the catchphrase. It's like he's spinning in his grave hearing her mangle his famous catchphrase. Come on.
For all the, oh, it's so good.
Oh, it's so good?
Can be a real challenge.
Okay, this is just sad. He's on death's door in this video.
And today, our test kitchen
They were like,
has a few
alright.
pointers to make anyone a carving pro like Howard.
Well, thanks for the compliment. You know, every Thanksgiving, I volunteer and help feed thousands of people who are in need. And we carve hundreds of birds. Well, after doing so many, I came up with a way that not only
Carve
easy,
hundreds
it
of
really
birds.
guarantees the juiciest bird, and it doesn't have any of that last-minute mess or stress in the kitchen. Okay, after cooking our turkey, we're going to let it sit
Put some
and cool for a little bit before carving
sloppy
it.
steaks.
This way, the juices won't
Put some
run out.
water on
We
it.
won't burn ourselves. First, we're going to remove the thighs and drumsticks. We're going to gently bend back the drumstick away from the frame and cut between the joint with a knife.
Blow
or
out the
kitchen
frame.
shears. Next, we'll cut along one side of the breastbone, like this.
Howard, he's the
Removing
new
half of
Mr.
the breast,
Food.
all in one piece. It'll look like a big boneless
Ooh,
roast.
it's so good.
After doing the same thing
It's a
to the
big
other
old
side,
breast.
we remove the wings and place the cut-up turkey in a heavy roasting
so
pan.
good.
We'll wrap over it. We're going to cover it and reheat it right in our oven.
Ooh, it's so gooda.
Faster to free up
Ooh,
that
ooh,
much
ooh,
heated
it's so
oven.
gooda. Ooh, it's so gooda.
Right on top of our stove.
Funko, funk.
Takes only 15
Need a
minutes
Mr.
or
Food
so,
Funko
and
Pop.
We'll have the juiciest
Now I would get
turkey
that.
We can even do this the day before. Either way,
Frank.
right
I
before
think this was his
serving,
last
slice the
video.
breast across the grain and
Just-
it's ready to dish up. Look,
That's
the
sad.
step-by-step carving tips are online now.
But he got to
along with a
do it up
recipe for
until the
classic
day,
roast turkey as our gift
up until
to
his
you.
last days.
Happy holidays from our kitchen to yours. And may you thankfully enjoy every bit of the
Ooh, it's so good.
That's sad. He was on death's door when... Okay, I gotta stop saying that. He... Anyway, they changed it over to the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll watch some of those with Howard and Patty and some of the other folks there. They have a different studio, and honestly, not a good, I would say, in terms of branding and kind of a new approach for Mr. Food, getting into the 20th century, 21st century, is doing the test kitchen thing, making it seem like those shows on PBS, America's Test Kitchen, I think that was a good move on the part of Mr. Food, making it less about Howard and being this crazy guy and making it seem more like they got a lot of brainiacs cooking up their fun recipes. So let's watch some of those new ones with Howard and then watch some other stuff too. It's kind of what we do over here.
All right, it's my all-time favorite guest meteorologist of the day. Of course, he's Mr. Food. Howard.
I'm out of the kitchen.
You're out of the kitchen.
In the weather control.
All right, we'll take
This
a
is
look.
crazy. You know, I know about chili when it's in a pot, but I don't know anything else beyond that. But right now it's 77. The
He's the weatherman on
about
that.
1 mile an hour. That's not even enough to blow the powdered sugar off a fried dough right now. But it feels like 77, humidity 74. Come out to the fair. It's beautiful. The 5-day forecast looks amazing. Sunny, shiny
Can't
all
see
day.
it.
So come here, eat roasted corn, barbecue, and we're going to be saying the weather's it's so good.
Ooh,
Ooh, it's so gooda.
What do you got? I want to say the weather's going to be. Ooh, it's so good.
That's good. I'm gonna clip all these to make my "Ooh, it's so good" soundboard. I got a couple. This is how the new Mr. Food Test Kitchen goes. Cover in the background. What's that?
All right, it's my all-time. Ooh, it's so good.
Here's how the new Mr. Food stuff starts out.
Over the last couple of years, I've fallen in love with pretzel
Howard.
rolls. It only makes sense since I love pretzels and I love rolls. You know, you don't get a body like this by
It
eating
makes
lettuce
sense.
wraps. The problem is they're not always easy to find. So rather than searching for them or waiting until they happen to be back in stock, we came up with a shortcut way to make them that's super easy and amazingly good.
I want a pretzel.
We start by whacking a can of refrigerated biscuits on the counter. After separating them, we roll them into balls. Funko Pop. Then we score the top of each ball with an X. We start by whacking a can of refrigerated biscuits on the counter. After separating them, we roll them into balls.
Mr. Food's husband. Now that would be interesting.
Then we score the top of each ball with an X. You want to make sure you don't cut it too deep, though. Now, we simmer these in a pot of boiling water that we've added some baking soda to.
Score the balls.
You see, simmering these in the boiling water will give our rolls a pretzel-like crust.
Ruminate on that
Then
one.
place them on a baking sheet with the X up. Brush them with a beaten egg and sprinkle on some salt.
Score the balls. That's for the X-rated Olympics. Olympics are over today. That's too bad. Everyone's gonna go home and they're gonna spread all the new variants that they got from doing Olympics. But hey, we got to watch it on TV. Yay! Okay, I'm trying to stay positive
Once
here.
they're baked,
Mr. Food is helping out.
Is the most
I like Howard. A lot of people hate Howard, but I like him.
They're great as is, or slathered
He's Mr. Food. I mean, come on.
You can even use them to make a tasty Bavarian-style sandwich. To
wet
get the recipe for our homemade pretzel rolls, all you have to do is visit our website. I know you'll be glad you did. I'm Howard
pretzels.
with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we
they're
found
making a ham
better than
sandwich.
store-bought way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, so good. That's pretty good. I want pretzel buns.
Hey, it's Howard from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. First and foremost, I wanted to reach out and let you know that we're thinking
that
of you
Mr.
during
Food
these challenging times.
is dead.
I also wanted to let you know that I'm working hand in hand with Roger and Jeremy to let consumers know how U.S. farm-raised catfish should be a staple in their house as they're hunkering down. After all,
This is a quarantine
we all know how
video.
budget-friendly it is. It's easy to prepare and super versatile.
It's so
which
good.
is what everyone needs right now, whether they pick it up at the supermarket or order it from
This is
takeout.
Mr. Food's house.
So stay safe.
It's a nice kitchen.
And know that you're in our thoughts and prayers to you and your family. And by working together, we'll all get through this. After all, before you know it, we'll all be saying, ooh, it's so good.
That makes me feel better about being quarantined.
The non-stop tour of Washington, D.C. continues.
Is Mr.
And
Food.
there's still so much more to see and do. We could spend a month here. But the one place that we needed to visit was the White House. And even though I've seen it
We're going to visit the White House, Trump.
100 times on TV and in the movies, there's nothing like seeing
it in the
in person.
movies. I've seen them. The
It's hard to
aliens
imagine what it would
blew
be
up.
like to live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. This
I
place
saw the
is
aliens
humongous.
blow it up on
It takes a
Independence
staff of more
Day.
than 450.
Well, not when Trump's there. All they do is order fish fillets from McDonald's and Diet Coke. They don't need to cook anything.
Including a team of chefs to keep everything running. After all, you don't think the First Family takes care of all 132 rooms themselves, do you?
No.
Now, since most of us probably will never have a chance to dine in the White House, that doesn't mean
Well,
we shouldn't
maybe
eat
if
like
you're
a dignitary.
a deplorable,
That's why
you
we
can.
recreated a dessert that was served when the
Maybe if
Kennedys
you
hosted a lunch.
We can if we bust into it. Damn it! Hit the wrong button. Oh God.
A non-stop tour of Washington.
Mr. What if that was on the during the big riots? He's like, we've come to Pennsylvania Avenue because their election's a fraud.
Hosted a luncheon for Princess Grace Kelly.
Funny.
It's a simple yet fancy
That would
tasting
be
strawberries Romanoff that has stood the test of time. And whether you're serving this to royalty or not.
Strawberries Romanoff. Interesting Russians, and they got kicked out. So maybe Mr. That's a little maybe that's a little dog whistle of what he wants to do with Joe Biden in the White House. Make it be like they did to the Romanoffs during the big revolution. Interesting.
And the vanilla
Howard
ice
is
cream
showing his color. He's a
accents the
MAGA
orange
guy.
kiss berries. To get the recipe to
Maybe
our
it's true.
White House strawberries Romanoff, all you have to do is visit our website. I'm Howard from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found
Howard
a
voted for
presidential way for you to say, "Ooh, it's so good."
Favorite of the berries. There's a link to today's recipe on valleynewslive.com. Just click on the Mr. Food button, or you can write us at the station, 1350 21st Avenue South, Fargo, North Dakota, 58103.
You can write us at the station, Fargo. Here's one with Paula Dean. Speaking of being a Trump guy, let's see. I think actually there's a message from Trump about Mr. Food. Let me see if I can pull it up here. But I have to play the video first while I find this message. Where was it?
We're at the South Beach Wine and Food Festival,
Now,
and today we're cooking with my good
here's
friends J.M. Hirsch
Paula
and the
Dean.
very funny, talented Paula Dean. Glad you're
Thank
here.
you, Howard. Thank you. I'm thrilled to be here with both of y'all.
Your party the other day was amazing.
Oh my
What
gosh,
fun.
wasn't that party fabulous, guys?
Absolutely.
We had so much fun. Wonderful friends there. Wonderful food.
So what are we cooking today?
We're making shrimp and grits.
Okay, all right.
Uh,
Why don't you lead us? You're the pro at this.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of things, Howard, that you need to do to ensure that you have
Need
great
some
grits.
butter. Okay.
The first thing is make sure that water is nice and salty.
Okay. And for the shrimp?
And for the shrimp, we've got a little onion, a little pepper. Personally, I love bacon. So we've sauteed those off, and we're gonna just remove our shrimp, guys.
Okay.
And then reduce it with some white wine and some heavy cream.
Oh, nature's most perfect.
Yes.
Heavy cream, of course, and butter.
That's
Then we
gonna
just serve
make
it right
our
over it?
sauce. Yes, and we're gonna put that on top of our grits. I've got something new and delicious here for y'all to try.
That's going to be the crowning jewel of this?
This is a finishing butter. Mmm. Is that not? It
This is delicious.
satisfies.
It finishes the whole meal.
Right, and it's decadent.
And when we serve up this shrimp over the grits and top it off with that creamy goodness,
Paula Dean.
get ready for lots of compliments. And if you want the recipe for polished shrimp and grits, it's online now, so you can whip up a dose of pure Southern comfort.
Paul has economic
What do
anxiety.
we say at the end at the test kitchen every time?
Oh, here we go.
Love and best dishes, y'all.
And we also say, ooh, it's so good.
Oh, it is so good.
Love and best wishes, y'all.
Time.
Love and best dishes, y'all.
And we also say, ooh, it's so good.
Oh, it is so good.
Paul's drunk.
I sounded like him, didn't I?
Yeah.
Endorsed and sponsored by the American.
Love and best wishes, y'all.
Endorsed and sponsored.
Oh yeah, I love the QVC stuff. Love and best wishes, y'all. Okay, we've got this is kind of cool. We got a message from Donald Trump. He's not the president anymore, but he's got a message for Mr. Food. This is kind of cool. We're gonna hear what he has to say. It's Trump, the Cheeto. Let's see what he's got to say about Mr. Food.
Mr. Food is one of the great American chefs. We love what he's done over there with the test kitchen. And Howard is not as good as her. Frankly, he's a cheap imitation. Folks, we are going to award a Medal of Honor for Mr. Food. So good.
It's Trump. It's another... Trump's going to be... No. Let's hear that again. He said Howard's a cheap imitation. Yeah, that's Trump for you. He'll say it. Of course, he's a New Yorker, so he probably grew up watching the original Mr. Food art. Let's hear that again. That was cool. That message from Trump. He didn't really say the catchphrase as good as I would like to.
Mr. Food is one of the great American chefs. We love what he's done over there with the test kitchen, and Howard is not as good as our. Frankly, he's a cheap imitation. Folks, we are going to award a Medal of Honor for Mr. Food, who gets so good.
That's better. Thanks. Thanks, Mr. President. Still my president, I guess. Oh. I really could picture him saying that. He loves Mr. Food, but Art is not or Howard is not as good as Mr. Food. That is something that he would say. Oh, it's Mr. Food. Oh, man. Let's see. We're on, this is video number 50, so we're about halfway through. See if we can get through another 50 videos in about 15 minutes. I love these QVC ones. That's pretty funny. Then, of course, we're going to end the show with everyone's favorite Mr. Food. And you might remember this, but we got to watch. We're talking about Mr. Food. We have to watch the English version of Mr. Food. So I was talking about how there should be international Mr. Foods. Well, we've got one. He's from England, but we're going to save that for the end. But here, the QVC guy. This guy's pretty funny.
By the American Diabetes Association.
Diabetes.
The American Diabetes Association published this book.
Oh,
It is amazing. Almost every
They
single
did? Why'd they do
recipe
that?
has a color photo, and we have Howard Rosenthal here. He's the director of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Sir, it's great to have you back.
How are ya?
Nice to see you again, as
We got
always.
some books back in
I
finally.
love it,
Howard is a
because we've
short
been waiting
guy,
for this
short
book to come back in
king.
stock. And our foodies have been waiting too, because already 500 are gone.
Wow, that is great.
All right, so we want to get right in and let you know that every recipe we're about to show you is all appropriate for a sugar-sensitive diet.
Absolutely, because the days of having to cook something special for one person who has a sugar sensitivity and the rest of the family eating something else, that's no longer.
That's
because all of
insane.
these recipes taste so fantastic,
Sure.
you would never
So
even
good.
know.
Where do you want to begin?
Well, do you like mac and cheese?
Well, does a frog bump its behind when it hops?
Well, let's start
I mean, come
bumping.
on. All right, here we go.
These
Oh,
are
hell
muffin
yeah.
cup bacon mac and
This guy's
cheese.
hilarious.
So they're made in individual muffin cups,
Pumpkin
only
mac and
140
cheese.
calories each, but it only has 10% of the fat of traditional mac and cheese. And you get that smokiness with the bacon.
Mm-hmm.
I know you shouldn't talk with your mouth full, so I'll just continue.
Don't worry, I'm a trained professional. This is amazing.
Ooh,
And
it's so
creamy,
Gouda.
Howard.
It
Ooh,
is
it's so
creamy,
Gouda.
full of flavor.
Creamy.
And great after-school snack or for dinner,
And I love that you did it in the muffin pan, because it gives us portion control.
which is so important.
And the flavor
sugar
is amazing.
sensitivity.
That's so creamy and so wonderful.
Now, over here, we have a comforting chicken casserole. I believe your mom used to make something like this.
She used to make and
Your
still does,
mom?
makes a
What does he
chicken
know
rice
about
casserole that
this
I
guy's
love.
mom?
And it has the almonds on top, so you're getting a little bit more of that protein, lots of fiber, only
cornflakes.
a gram and a half. It's unbelievable.
Smells great.
I don't like that.
280 calories for a big portion of that. And just make this so you can pop it in the oven that day or keep it in the fridge and reheat it.
That'll
Delicious.
stick to your ribs, comfort food
real
right
good
there.
food.
Hey, let's do a dessert right quick and talk fruit stand
Let's
cheesecake.
do
Do we
Fruit
have
stand
that?
cheesecake, we do. Right here, it's nice
We
and light.
stand
And with
cheesecake.
the fruit on top, so you're getting, again,
it's
more
so
fiber,
good.
lots of fruit, creamy. This only has 140 calories
frick?
compared to like
Per
7
serving.
per serving.
I can have
Supposed
the
to be
whole
no
piece with the
sugar,
fruit.
though,
with the
diabetes,
fruit. And
right?
Traditionally, it has so much more fat, but we use a reduced fat cream cheese.
Hold this, please.
Hold this freaking thing. I'm about to lose my damn
Traditionally,
mind.
it has so much more.
I'm about to lose it with how good this.
So much more fat, but we use a reduced
Holy
fat cream
crap.
cheese.
Happy dance, Mary. That's the cheesecake fruit stand. Happy dance. That's what that is. Get it to the left, get it to the right, get it to the left, get it to the right. Oh, that's good. That's good. Wow.
It's cauliflower flatbread. Cauliflower.
All right,
is
Mary,
so
get over here with the
popular right
cauliflower
now.
fat bread.
Cauliflower
Don't have to
fat
ask
bread.
her twice.
I better not
Mary
be
wastes
fat
away
if
to
I'm
nothing
eating
during these
that.
shows because they're so little gluten-free.
This guy's
Here is some
nuts.
cauliflower pizza.
I love them.
So it's cauliflower
Cauliflower
crust, is
It's
that
a
right?
crust. It has egg to hold it together. a little
That's good
Parmesan
for you.
cheese and a pesto, and you just
And a
bake it off in a cookie sheet.
delicious.
So good. That's how good it is.
You're gonna like this.
Ooh, it's so
Grams of
good.
saturated fat.
I love it.
Isn't that nice?
I love it.
You know, and it tastes so decadent. That's one thing about all these recipes. They taste like they're over the top,
Send 'em
but
to
you
church.
can feel comfortable because they
Take me to
published
church.
that they're going to fit a dietary restricted diet.
How you feeling about that?
Can I keep it?
Oh, I got whipped cream all over me.
so
well,
good.
that's okay, Howard. We'll just eat the rest of your pizza while you clean up.
That's why we make sure you bring an
Howard.
extra sugar to fly home.
Missing
got
I love it.
cream
That's just
all
so
over him.
zesty, isn't it?
so good. Okay,
Howard,
thank
what
you.
have you been
The
up
good
to
thing about
over
this
there?
is
What's that?
It walks.
Oh, there we go.
Takeout.
1,200
Get to
books are
stepping.
gone. Actually, over 1,200 books are gone. I want you to see these gorgeous,
Oh,
gorgeous
my
recipes. And, hello, bacon mac and cheese
Hello.
cups. Lovely pictures inside here. Easy. You know what I love about your recipes, Howard?
crap.
That they're. I look at these, and
Howard.
the steps are numbered here. This recipe has
Hey,
only 5 steps.
you gotta number
Some
those
recipes have only
steps, or I'll
3
get
steps.
lost.
There's one with 4 steps. You've got your recipe. Information. Every recipe has nutritionals.
Absolutely.
And Mary, I know some
Nah,
folks in our
you
chat
gotta
are
do
wondering,
that.
every recipe has nutritionals, boo.
Yeah,
so every single recipe has nutritional information. Color pictures. You said 95.
now that is good. You need the nutritionals on there. How many servings? If you're watching your calories, like me, you need to know that. You call her Boo. Are they together or something?
You've got your recipe information. Every recipe has nutritionals.
Absolutely.
And Mary, I know some folks in our
Exchanges.
chat are wondering, every recipe has nutritionals, boo. Yeah, so every single recipe
Every
has nutritional information.
nutritionals-
Color
every-
pictures. You said 95%
every
of the
recipe
recipes
has
in here have
nutritionals,
photos.
boo.
Absolutely.
Look at
One
that.
recipe to a page and all off-the-shelf ingredients like all of our cookbooks.
I think this
Home-style
guy should be
lentil
Mr.
soup.
Food.
There's our favorite test
Oh,
kitchen
look at that,
director.
handsome.
Look at that. That's awesome. So I've been to the test kitchens in Fort Lauderdale. I have been there to meet the entire Mr. Food crew, and they are marvelous.
Mr.
So
Food
everything in here,
gang.
you know, has been tested with love in their
Gucci
kitchens.
Food
Mini
gang.
salmon cakes. I'm doing salmon burgers
gang.
You are.
today.
Very similar.
This is a super. Look, there's the test kitchen. I believe this is your wife, isn't
It
it?
is. That's Patty. She
Oh,
runs the
Patty.
test kitchen. She's amazing.
Very nice.
Oh,
She
that's
makes it all
awesome.
come together.
How you doing, veggie pack grits and eggs? Okay, good morning. That's the best part of
Hello.
waking up right there. All right, so
Oh, this guy is great. He's got a lot of good sound clips. I'll make some more soundboards. Hello.
oh, that's
She makes
awesome.
it all come together.
How you doing, veggie pack grits and eggs? Okay, good morning. That's the best part of waking up right there.
Good
All right,
morning.
so all of the great recipes inside,
Okay,
all
I'm
the
gonna
beautiful
spend
color
the rest
photos.
of my week
Let's
making
take a look
soundboards.
at
How about
This
some
guy.
chocolate chip
Hello.
waffles with a little sugar-free syrup to go over that?
Can I say 2,000
so
books
good.
are now gone? 600
Oh my
people just jumped on the phone line.
Does that look decadent?
Holy
And you would think you could never eat that.
Can we eat
I can't
this?
eat that.
We can.
No.
This is layers of heaven, and you tell me if it is layers of heaven.
It's
You know,
manna
we
from
use a
heaven.
Sugar-free, fat-free,
From the
ice cream
gods.
sandwich layered with a chocolate mousse that is also
Talking about
sugar-free.
mythology earlier.
Dig into that. It's creamy. It's light. You keep it in the
What do they call
freezer.
that?
Oh, it's about 900 degrees outside right now. This is going to taste awfully good.
And it only has a half a gram of saturated fat.
Oh, God.
Let's just make sure.
Happy dance. Happy dance. dance. I'm
Cool
just
one.
savoring. Happy dance.
Delicious.
Happy dance. Get it. Happy dance. That was a slow motion happy dance, Mary. You know what's amazing about this?
Boo-boo.
All the cookie layers begin to soften
Cookie.
as the
absorb.
ice, and it
Dang.
absorbs the ice cream and the
That does
filling.
sound good.
So it just
Ooh, it's
ends up
so
being
good.
this
Ooh,
melt
it's so
in your
good.
mouth. Unbelievable goodness. This is bite number 2.
And it's really nice that you can make this ahead. It's in an 8x8 pan. I don't really need it.
I wish he would
Okay.
stop
This is
doing
for a
that.
sugar-sensitive diet.
Who would ever think?
If you served that to me at a
Stop
barbecue,
doing that.
I would never think it was sugar-free.
It's the first thing to go all the and you can cut it.
That cross-eyed look is kind of weird.
Unbelievable goodness. This is bite number 2.
And it's really nice that you can make this ahead. It's in an 8.
Oh, man. Oh, this guy is pretty funny. Let's watch some more. I love the QVC. That would be a good episode. People would love that. People would be watching in droves and droves when they hear about. He's
Loving the Mr. Food style of
watching
cookbooks. There is a
infomercials.
photo with every single one of the 130 recipes in this book. The
Damn.
print is larger. I'm not going to have you guess at it. I'll show it to you. The
print
is larger in these books. So you know right away you've got a gorgeous color photo, easy to read instructions, every recipe limited to 1 page. and everything can
Wait a
be
second.
cooked in your air fryer.
I
Everything
love the
can
air
be
fryers.
cookbooks. So you know right away you've got a gorgeous colorful.
No, it's so good. It's got a. Excuse me.
Oh, it's so good.
I don't know about this one. Mushroom blue cheese burger bowls. I mean, whatever. I eat it, go for it. I don't know if I want a burger bowl. It's kind of weird. Just put it on top.
Photo, easy to read instructions. Every recipe limited to one page.
A little too campy,
And
this guy.
everything can be cooked
He's on
in
the
your
QVC.
air fryer in a quicker
You can cook
amount of
anything in
time
the
and
air
also
fryer.
with little or no oil.
Stromboli.
Welcome
I love
in
stromboli.
our special guest, Howard Rosenthal, the director of the Mr. Food Test Kitchen is
Mr.
here.
Food.
Sir, what a pleasure to have
It's
you
a
back.
pleasure.
That's
This
Mr.
book is so much fun.
That's
This
Mr.
book is
Food to
amazing.
you.
Thank you, thank you.
And with so many people owning air fryers and more planning to buy one on Sunday, and maybe you're looking ahead to the holiday season,
Everyone's
you've asked
buying
Santa
one
for
on
one.
Sunday.
This is going to be the time to pick up this book. This book is amazing.
Thank you.
Mr. Food's looking at us and saying, "Ooh, that looks so good."
He is, he is. If
He's
he only knew
smiling
what
on
air
us.
fryers were back
Right,
then.
because back in his day, these were not a possibility. Tell us.
Mr. Food, his mind would be blown if he learned about what air fryers was. Holy crap, could you imagine? Mr. Food coming back. Hey, check out some of these gadgets. This here's called an Instant Pot. And he's like, what? And they were like, now check this out over here. So this thing over here is called an air fryer. You can cook anything in this. He'd be like, his mind would be blown. Oh, Mr. Food.
This book is amazing.
Thank you.
Mr. Food's looking at us and saying, "Ooh, that looks so good."
He is, he is. If
He's
he only knew
smiling
what
on
air
us.
fryers were back
Right,
then.
because back in his day, these were not a possibility. Tell us about this book.
It's been a
Were
labor
not a
of love. You know, so
possibility.
many people have come to us and asked us, do you have recipes for air fryers? So we spent the last year and a half developing this cookbook. All new recipes.
Yeah.
I love his dead-eyed stare. Look at his dead eye. He's like, okay, can we finish this stupid thing? It's just dead-eyed stare.
We spent the last year and a half developing this cookbook. All new recipes.
Yeah.
This is the dynamic they have. Howard's looking at him like, okay, can we get... I guess he didn't know the camera. I don't think he knew the camera was on him in this moment. Howard's trying to look at him, have a little interaction, and he's just staring off a
This cookbook.
1,000-yard
All new
stare.
recipes.
Yeah.
One recipe to a page, off-the-shelf ingredients like we always have done.
Sure.
So you can, really feel confident. Every recipe, triple tested. And we just
Every
have everything from
recipe is
appetizers,
amazing.
breakfast, desserts. And I think we should get going.
Well, let's get busy. Can we start here? You actually did a turkey breast in the air fryer.
This is fantastic for Thanksgiving.
And people don't realize they can do this.
They can do this. This is 10 minutes to brown it up. You flip it over, 20 minutes,
Flip it.
and then another
See
10
you
minutes
later,
on the
bye.
backside. So in about 35 to
That
40
sounds
minutes,
good.
your turkey's here. If you want to put all your side dishes in the oven, you can go ahead and do that. But you don't even need to with that fast.
Now, this is wacky. Look at how beautiful this is.
Now, this
and
is
then when we
wacky
carve
as
into
hell.
this, crispy and crunchy on the outside.
And so
but
juicy.
buttery on the
and
inside.
tender on the inside. I'm ready to taste this.
looks a
I
little
love
raw.
turkey. This is my season of the year.
Looks a little underdone.
Thank you
There you
so
go.
much. Ooh, look at that.
Ooh,
And
it's so
to go,
good.
isn't that moist?
Oh, wait. That is so juicy.
And
Ooh, it's so
everything
good.
in the air fryer that we've done, the pork chops that you almost need a bib, they're so juicy. The chicken breast here for Thanksgiving, possibly.
Air fryers
These are
okay,
sweet
here we
potato
go.
rounds.
I was just wondering about this. Air fryers were invented in 2010, so Mr. Food could have known. Yeah, come on. Air fryers were around. He probably saw them. He probably knew about them, but it was maybe the tech was too new to have it on his segments.
With a little bit of
this guy's
marshmallow
thinking
over it, a little brown
air fryers
sugar,
are new.
and then we're just going to finish them off with a little bit of caramel.
Well, maybe that'll cut the sweetness. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Just a little special. Instead of that marshmallow, everybody gets their own, and real lightly, and it just makes it so nice.
Howard, this turkey is amazing. This is all so
insane.
delicious.
That
and
looks
I'm
good,
oh, you
too.
have some of the sweet potato.
Sweet potatoes right
Try
there.
the sweet potato. Oh, wow, this looks great.
Ooh, it's so good.
And over here,
Ooh, it's so good.
that
How
nice,
long in the air fryer?
that's like 6 minutes.
Seriously.
It's so quick because they're cut thinner. You don't have to wait for that big baked potato to bake. You flip it over.
This next
Love
item,
the air
my
This
fryer.
personal
is
favorite.
potato tots, those little potato puffs you find in the market,
Potato
wrapped in
tots.
bacon. What a perfect way
Whoa.
to serve it for breakfast, for dinner. You can even make smaller ones and have them for an
Breakfast.
hors d'oeuvre.
Well,
that's what I love about the air
you're
fryer.
gonna watch your
25% less,
cholesterol
less
eating
oil. And we teach you the basics. Isn't that nice? It tastes like something so fancy.
That's the best thing ever.
That does look pretty good.
That big bite. If you decide you want to dip these in something, dip those in a little ranch dressing.
Oh, delicious.
If you'd hold that for just a
Ooh,
second,
it's
I'll
so
bust out
good.
the happy
All
dance.
right.
There it is. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. 3,000 books are gone. We do not have a lot of these to go around. Tell us about this real quick.
This
and then we'll page through the
is
book.
shepherd's pie. You cook the chicken in here, add a little bit of
pie.
shortcut ingredient, some gravy, frozen vegetables.
Sure.
So simple. And then you brown this up in the oven.
Unbelievable.
You
Now,
want a little mac and cheese, or you
well,
want?
always a little mac and cheese, but let me.
Okay, Howard. They need to work on their rhythm they got going together. Howard's trying to go talk about shepherd's pie, and he's trying to promote the book.
Let me just thumb through the book real
Okay.
quickly. We're going to bring our camera over top so you can see inside. Every single one of the 130 recipes, all designed for the air fryer,
recipes.
are going to have a color photo. So look at these beautiful color pictures.
Beautiful.
Look at the ease.
Amazing. Okay, we got to get out of here. We didn't quite. Oh no, David from QVC just died. No. He had too much mac and cheese. He did the happy dance and he fell into the sewer manhole cover. Was eaten by rats. Okay, let's see. Fell into the air fryer. Okay, we've got to get out of here, but before we go, we were going to show you the classic video. I was talking about International Mr. Food, and here he is, our old friend. We love this guy, Nosh.
Hey, I'm starving.
He's Mr. Food. This is some guy who did this novelty song under the name Nosh, Mr. Food, and it's called That's Before Me Tea. So this is not affiliated with Mr. Food, and maybe they probably did a lawsuit on him, a cease and desist, when they found out what this hooligan was up to. He's a real
Where's me can
wacko.
opener?
He loves food.
When I listen to me radio, I'm happy as can be. Cause that's when I have loads of grub. Hey, I'll eat anything, me. I've mashed potato, steak and kidney pie with mushy peas, bacon, sausage, onion, bhaji, spaghetti bolognese, egg and ham, spam, cabbage, egg, burger, chips and beans, trommelata, fried tomato. And that's before me tea, which is chicken curry, biryani, loads of fried rice, beef and turnip gravy, Yorkshire pudding, lovely, very nice, toasted bread with cheese and pickled peanut butter by the score. Suppose I'll have to run up to the shops to get some more semolina pasta shells, mince and dumplings on the top. Aye, combi fash, lots of mash, bottle of fizzy pop. Then there's beefy stew with carrot stew, potatoes, lemon and lime. When I listen to me radio, I have a canny tea. Sing a song of sixpence, I love me stir fry. 4 and 20.
Forgot about the racist part. Mr. Food.
Saveloys, beef and onion pie. When the pie was open, I stuffed it in me face. Wasn't that a canny dish? Why, it really is. Hey man, it's amazing just how much I love me scran. I bet you I can eat more scran than Kevin Keegan can. I have ravioli, macaroni, cauliflower cheese with salami, lettuce, bread, beans, double helping peas. Then there's jam roly-poly with some custard on it too. Hey, I love to have a munch for me lunch. Aye, I do. Whoa, mashed potato, steak and kidney pie with mushy peas, bacon, sausage, onion, bhaji, spaghetti bolognese, egg and ham, spam, cabbage, egg, burger, chips and beans, trommelata, fried tomato, and that's before me tea, which...
That's before me tea. And that's the tea, folks. This is a better one. This is the rap.
Burger, chips and beans, toast with margarine.
Mr. Food. Here's the Nosh rap.
Hey man, way, it's MC Food with a rap called Nosh, and it's really good. It goes munch munch, chomp chomp, yum yum.
Mr. Food.
When there's kind of music playing on the radio, I get me beans, egg pie, chips, bread and butter, and I go munch munch, chomp chomp.
Look at that hair.
Yum yum. Aye. You see, I like food. I like the nibble. I jump up and down and my mouth begins to dribble at the thought of pasties, cakes and pies. Marmalade sarnie, that's nice. Turn on the radio, there's a canny song. I cannot sing for toffee, but I love a cup of coffee with digestive biscuits, ginger snap, crumpet scone. Hey, D the nosh rap, D the nosh rap, D the nosh rap, D the nosh rap. And that's before me tea. When I'm peckish, I go up the shop. I get some scran and a bottle of fizzy pop. If I meet a nice lass, I stop and say hello. I think it's getting colder. I think it might snow. She said, never mind that, like, what have you got for dinner? Plenty for me, mate, but not for ye, kidder. Hey, no, I'm only joking. You fancy coming back? So we shared all me grub, then we did the nosh rap. D the nosh rap. D the nosh rap. D the nosh rap. And that's before me. Get down, people, you know what I mean? Cause it's a rap called nosh, and it's good for your spleen. It goes munch munch, chomp chomp, yum yum. When there's canny music playing on the radio, I get me quiche with sweet corn potato salad, and I go munch munch, chomp chomp, yum yum. Alright.
That is crazy.
Pea soup with buns is all week. I had it for me supper and Wednesday night. I opened up the can and stuck it in the pan. I put it on the ring and turned up the heat. And like when it was ready, I put it in me bowl. I picked up the spoon and thought, rock and roll. I put the butter on me knife and spread it on the pop. And as I danced in the kitchen, I did the nosh rap, D the nosh rap, D the nosh rap, D the nosh rap, D the nosh rap. Exani, chili con carne, minestrone, and that's before me tea. Hey, be Christmas soon. That means there'll be stacks of grub, you know. Aye, love a party,
Mr. Food.
a buffet, you know.
All right. Had a lot of fun today, didn't we? Everybody missed the food. This guy's wacky. Missed the food. We love the nosh rap. Watching the nosh rap. Put it back on the nosh rap. That's a lot of fun. Watching Mr. Food. We finally got to do the Mr. Food episode. Thanks for watching. It's been a lot of fun. We finally got to see Mr. Food in all of his glory. The best guy out there, Mr. Food. We had a lot of fun. We overcame some technical difficulties and got back on track.
Ooh, it's so good.
Thanks for watching. Everyone have a great week and enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everybody. And stay safe out there. And enjoy the Olympics or whatever's gonna go, whatever you're gonna do is gonna be fun. Maybe go check out some old episodes of the Cool Stream while you're at it. Even if you haven't had enough. Of me yapping my damn head off. Anyway, it was a lot of fun today on the show. Let me get we had Trump talking about Mr. Food. That was fun. It's so good. Thanks for checking us out. And see if we can get these credits going.
Mr. Food is one of the great American chefs. We love what he's done over there with the test kitchen, and Howard is not as good as her. Frankly, he's a cheap imitation. Folks, we are going to award a Medal of Honor for Mr. Food. It's so good.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Okay. Alright, I'm getting the credits pulled up. And we're gonna get out of here. We had a lot of fun. We made it through the show. Thanks for checking us out today. We'll be back in, not next week, but the week after next. That's how we do over there. And we'll hit the road as soon as the song's over. And then we'll see you next time on
The Cool Stream.
Bye-bye. And we'll be seeing you next time. As soon as my computer will just keep chugging along, we'll be seeing you for the credits. Here it's coming up. It's a great little video. Oh, Lord. Oh, lordy, lordy, loo. Oh, crap. Come on. So I get a new computer. This thing is a piece of junk. Okay. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, it's so good.
So good.
Look at that. Wow, wow. Look at that.
Funko Pop, Funko Pop.
Pretty cool.
The Cool Stream.
Father on the bunko.
That is crazy.
Funko.
Beowulf. Thanks, Beowulf. Have a good one.
Ooh, it's so good.